Disney has released the numbers for the season 2 premiere episode of Loki, and it might sound good on the surface, but I have my doubts about whether it's actually as good as what Disney's trying to spin it as, and I think it actually paints a pretty grim picture for Disney and basically the future of the MCU. Right now, this article from Deadline is talking about it. Loki season 2 debuts with record 3-day audience for Disney Plus. So yeah, I mean, that sounds good, but like I said, that's just their spin. The God of Mischief is taking over Disney Plus once again. Loki season 2 debut on Thursday, tallying 10.9 million global views in its first 3 days on the platform. Okay, and that makes it the streamer's second most watched season premiere this year, coming in behind March's season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian. Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense because The Mandalorian is the most popular show on the Disney Plus platform, so of course this will fall in behind it, but I mean, second place to that, I mean, that sounds really good, right? We'll keep going. The view for Disney is defined as the total stream time divided by runtime available. Now, remember that formula, the stream time divided by the runtime. Disney never released data on viewership for The Mandalorian Season 3. However, according to Nielsen, the first episode drew about 823 million viewing minutes in its first few days on Disney Plus. Okay, so these are the Nielsen numbers. It's not the Disney numbers, it's the Nielsen numbers. 823 million viewing minutes. Okay, well, Disney doesn't tend to release the viewing minutes. The closest that we can actually get is the number of viewers, and they have started to release that for some of their shows. So what is the viewing minutes of this episode of Loki? Well, with 10.9 million views that they say they got, so let's just type that in right here on a calculator. All right, so that's 10.9 million. And what's the runtime of this? Well, IMDb has it at 45 minutes for this episode. So let's just jump back onto the calculator. So you multiply that by 45. And the grand total is 490.5 million viewing minutes for this episode, according to Disney. Now, that's significantly less than The Mandalorian Season 3, but like I said, that's the most popular show on their platform. I mean, so if it's a second place, but a big second place gap, it's like, all right, but how does this compare to against something else? Like, let's say Loki Season 1. Well, I got those numbers for you too. Loki marks biggest Marvel series premiere on Disney Plus, and this is dated July 8th of 2021. And if you scroll down, what does it say about it? The first episode of Loki racked up 731 million minutes of viewing time. 731 is quite a bit higher than 490.5, but some people might say, like, well, that's the viewing minutes. What is the total number of viewers? And because that's what this was about. I mean, it was 10.9 million viewers. So what is Loki season 1? Well, I'll just do the same thing. That was 51 minutes for that premiere episode of season 1 of Loki, excuse me. So, all right, let's just do the math on that one. 731 million. All right, and divided by 51 minutes for the runtime. 14.3 million viewers compared to the 10.9 that they're actually saying is a success for season 2, which to me, that doesn't seem like much of a success, but I mean, to me, that seems like a pretty big departure. I mean, a huge drop between the first and second season. I mean, usually you would think you would grow an audience by that time, but no, I mean, they've lost a huge segment of their audience. And if people are going to point out, like, well, these are the Disney numbers, these are the Nielsen numbers, they're different sources. So once we get the Nielsen numbers, it could be better for Disney, right? Well, not quite, because Disney tends to inflate their numbers. Nielsen is obviously a third-party place. Disney is given their own information, so we don't necessarily know how they compare, and we've only gotten a few different shows that actually show the comparison, and one of them is actually for Ahsoka, because that just came out. And when that came out, Disney said it got 400, wow, 14 million people viewed it in the first week. Well, okay, 14 million, and keep into account the run times. And according to the Nielsen numbers, when we have that comparison, it said it was 829 million viewing minutes. And keep in mind, this was also for 2 episodes, but let's just treat it like that. So 829 million viewing minutes, and the 2 episodes combined was 97 minutes. So let's just divide it by 97 minutes. And that was around 8.5 million viewers. So the Nielsen numbers came out for Ahsoka, and it said it was 8.5 million viewers for the first 2 episodes. Whereas Disney says it was 14 million, which is obviously significantly higher. So now that we're seeing that, the Nielsen numbers for season 1 of Loki said it had 14 million, or yeah, around 14 million viewers. And this one right now, Disney is saying that theirs is 10.9 million. So when the Nielsen numbers come out from this, we're actually expecting this to be quite a bit lower, which means the drop off between the first season and the second season was even more pronounced than what Disney is even trying to put on. And this is them putting their best foot forward and trying to give it a positive spin, which is obviously not a good sign for them moving forward, because it indicates that people have just kind of checking out, not only with the Disney Plus platform, I mean, the whole MCU as a whole. And with the new Marvels movie coming out next month, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're worried about the prospect of that, considering they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on that. I mean, it's one of their more expensive movies and their most popular MCU show on the Disney Plus platform. They can't even get people to watch it for free at home. So they have to be worried right now, and things are not looking good for them. But like I said at the start, I mean, these are necessarily apples to apples comparison. We have to wait for the Nielsen numbers to come out for Loki season 2 before we can make that call. But like I said, doing all this information right here, I mean, it looks like things are pretty bad for them, but that's what I think at least. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you click that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.